What is up, guys? Eric here with TeamEccenTrick, bringing you guys my updated Mermail list for September going into October. I haven't been on the channel in a while. I've been so busy with other personal stuff in my life. Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Just really hasn't been a priority. It hasn't been on my radar lately. But I'm trying to break that cycle, trying to get back into it, and this is the deck I figured I'd update since I haven't updated it in a while. And the last update I did was really kind of not all that great. I feel like the deck, like, it's weird. I go through phases with this deck where I'll like Murray of Greed, and then I won't like Murray of Greed, and then I'll like Murray of Greed, and then I won't. Whereas right now, I really don't like Murray of Greed, I'll be honest. So I switched up the deck. I switched up a lot of the ratios and a lot of the cards, and I figured I would bring you guys my list as of now. So we're going to get right into it. We're just going to speed right in. One Mooling Glacier. Obviously, taking 2 cards out of your opponent's hand is still really strong as long as you know what you're playing against. If you're playing against a deck that is graveyard reliant, obviously this card may not be the strongest thing, so siding it out is and has been relevant lately, but it is still a really strong card to start off with if your opponent's playing something like Pendulum or some kind of variant, you know, some kind of deck that relies on what's in its hand. So that's the thing. After that, we are still playing Triple Mermail with this Megalo. This is still your OTK guy. You still put this on the board and try and kill your opponent. Also, the fact that it searches the Abyss scale of the Mizuchi is really, really strong, considering Dark Ruler No More is now a meta-relevant card. I do still play the spell version. This deck, I feel like its Abyss scales are really, really strong, and being able to search them just makes the deck that much better now that we have cards like Dimension Shift or Dark Ruler No More, Evenly Matched, etc., etc. Like, having the capability to search the Abyss scales and equip them and make it so that it invalidates another card in your opponent's hand is strong in my opinion. Moving on, we have Triple Mermail Teus. Obviously, this card is really good. You see this in Dragoons, you have full combo. It's just amazing. Now for the small Mermails, I have increased the numbers of the small Mermails only because there are certain combos that the small Mermails can actually do that are actually really decent. So, starting off with 2 Mermail Abyss Pike, 2 Gund, and 1 Mander. Mander is kind of a brick in the deck, but if you see it in the right scenario, you make Calamities, VFD, whatever you want to call it. Pike, the reason why I play 2 Pike now is because it searches the level 3s, obviously. You search any of your, you search your Abyss Guns, you can search your Marksman, or you can search Undyne, which I am playing 1 copy of Genix Undyne and 1 copy of Genix Controller. I know that's a little weird. I know a lot of people are like, why not play 3? It's a great starter card. And that it is. It is most certainly a good starter card, but once you use Genix Undyne in the spell variant of this deck, where you're not playing Sekka's Light, the Undyne the controller becomes actually useless, other than being a discard outlet for, say, 1-for-1 or a Nightmare. This card allows you to search the Undyne and go in and just search the card anyways. So if you see this Gund, say Megalo or a Swap Frog and another water, you have full combo with the Undyne engine anyway. So I figured that's actually really relevant to play. And that's it for the Mermail component of the deck. Now we're getting into the Atlanteans. 1 Deep Sea Diva. This is an honorary Atlantean, essentially. It's Neptibus, but level 2, and a tuner. After that, 3 copies of Neptibus, because best starter in the deck. Obviously, this card is amazing. I will never not love this card. This card is wonderful. After that, triple Atlantean Dragoons. Look at those ultis. So happy I finally have the ultis again. I used to have the ultis back in the day. Sold them back when I was just about to quit the game, and then I got back into the game, and I had the supers for the longest time, and now I have the ultis again. Just, that's something that happened over the course of the past month or 2 that I haven't really uploaded too much. 2 Atlantean Heavy Infantry. I've always had the supers of these. These just really good, really strong card. And then 1 Ulti Marksman. Just really strong engine in my opinion with this ratio. Ever since Dragoons came to 3, playing more than 1 Marksman is just not really all that good in my opinion. After that, we have the Frog engine. I still think this engine is still really relevant because it just allows you to link climb, and Coral Anemone just allows you to make a Toad off of 1 Swap Frog, as long as you can put Coral Anemone on board and then have this in great. Like, it just allows you to make a Swap Frog for basically free. This card is like this engine honestly is really good still. Then like I said, the one controller, the one Undyne. I know that this is awkward, like I said, I know it's a great starter, but there are combos where having just one of this is actually relevant rather than playing multiples of it. Plus, seeing multiples of Undyne isn't really all that good. Yeah, obviously you get multiple effects of Undyne over the course of multiple turns, as many times as you can normal summon this, but there aren't really too many engines where you get multiple normal summons, so if you see multiple of this in your hand at once, your hand's kind of dead. And I will do a combo tutorial just to kind of show you guys what I mean with the controller after the profile. So then after that, triple Gamma Seal. Thunder Dragons, pure Thunder Dragons especially, are back. That being said, you need some way to clear out their Colossus because just swinging over it or destroying it isn't going to do anything. You have to tribute it or take it with Bore Load. Triple Ash Blossom because it's the hand trap. And now we're on to spells. Triple Called by the Grave for obvious reasons. Stopping hand traps is a relevant thing. And then for the last 3 spells, one Abyss Scale, the Mizuchi, in my opinion, probably the best of the 3 Abyss Scales now that Dark Ruler No More is out. 1 for 1. An obligatory extra copy of Neptibus. And 1 Monster Reborn, because it's Monster Reborn, why wouldn't you play it? So that's it for the main deck. Now we're going to get into the extra deck. We have 1 Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. This card is still amazing. Just being able to make this, you can make this on turn 1, it's not really that difficult, or you can make it, say, turn 2, when you set up your board turn 1, or your second turn, I mean, you set up your board turn 1, you rip all your opponent's cards out of their hand using Moulin, and then you set up negates and validate cards. Then once they end their turn, you make this and then go in for game with like Megalo with this so that they can't negate or do anything weird with monster effects. It comes up. It's a really, really strong card, to be honest. I really like this card. After that, Borload Dragon, because it's Borload, it steals Colossuses, it steals anything your opponent can put on the board, it can steal. 1 Saryuja Skuldread, because drawing into cards is something that this deck has trouble with, and if you can at least put 4 monsters on the board, which isn't too difficult with this deck so long as you see cards that can put themselves onto the board. This card is just really, really relevant, really, really strong. Plus, if you don't see Neptibus, but again, you can put 4 cards on the board and you draw into your Neptibus, this just allows you to put it right on board right there, which has happened. So now moving on for the lower links, we have Nightmare Unicorn, Coral Anemone, Alacia, Phoenix, Miss Starboy, and Link Karibo. Now, the reason why I'm playing Miss Starboy again is because when you use Coral Anemone, it's a Cyberse monster, so you can't go into Abyss Alacia then and thereafter, but you can go into Miss Starboy, and there are combos where that is relevant, because then Miss Starboy can then go into Alacia because it's an Aqua, so that's the thing. Obviously, Phoenix we all know is back row removal, Unicorn we obviously know bounce or spin stuff, and then Link Karibo is for obvious reasons as well as Abyss Alacia. So that's it for the links. And then for the Xyz monsters, we're playing 1 True King of All Calamities, for obvious reasons, Mander. 1 Abyss Gaios, because it's actually really, really strong, especially against a deck like, say, Cyber Dragon Orcust. I've tested this against Cyber Dragon Orcust, and it's really, really strong, because it just negates everything on the field. And it keeps level 5 and higher monsters from attacking if it has Xyz material, which is another relevant effect that a lot of people forget about. So this card is really, really good. 1 Abyss Dweller, for obvious reasons. It triggers your Dragoons, and it keeps your opponent from activating graveyard-based effects. 1 Bahamut Shark, because Toad, and then a second Toad for the Frog Engine. So that is it for the extra deck. Probably could use a little bit of work, but honestly, I enjoy it. I think it's actually really, really strong. Coral Anemone is honestly probably one of my favorite cards in the extra deck now, just because it allows you to make a free Toad off of a swap Frog. It's just really, really good. Now we're getting into the side deck. I know I didn't say I was going to profile the side deck, but I figured that side deck theory right now is really important, especially considering we're now in a more control-based format with Nibiru and things of that nature being out. So we're going to get right into the side deck. We are actually playing, speak of the devil, 2 Nibiru. I would play 3, but I feel that 3 clogs a little bit. And granted, 3 would still be really good. You could play a 3rd, but I also don't really have too much room in the side deck, so 2 I feel is relevant enough. After that, 3 Dark Ruler No More for big boards, Thunder Dragons, etc., etc. You just plop this down. Like, let's say, for example, you're playing against a pure Thunder player and they don't do 5 summons. and they still have Colossus. As long as you see this, you're fine. So that's the thing. 2 Twin Twisters, because obviously back row, and then 2 spells that I've been testing that I actually really like. I was originally going to play Exchange, but now I'm playing 2 Dragged Out of the Grave. This card is actually really good. It allows you to mold your hands as well as ruin your opponents. You just kind of play all of your irrelevant cards first and then use this. And then for the last 6 cards, triple impermanence and triple evenly matched. We all know what these are for. So that's it for the deck profile, guys. Stay tuned and I'll show you the combo tutorial. Alright guys, so I figured that I would bring you guys the reasoning as to why I'm only playing 1 GX Undyne rather than 3. I feel like 3 is just really cloggy, and if you see multiples of it in your hand, you're gonna brick and your hand's gonna be kind of dead. Not only that, but in this version of the deck, which again plays spell cards, not Sekka's Light, you can't shuffle back the controller, so playing multiple Undynes is just not really all that beneficial to any of your combos unless you're just trying to normal summon once every turn and then just send off a cost of Undyne, which again can be a good strategy if you're playing the Sekka's Light version because you can shuffle back the controller anyway. Regardless, this is my reasoning as to why I'm only playing 1 Undyne in the deck. So in this combo allows you to search the Undyne off of Pike and normal summon it in the same turn. In order to perform this combo, you need Pike, Gund, a water to discard, and then a discard outlet such as Mermail Abyss Megalo or even Swap Frog. The version with Swap Frog allows you to end on a Toad as well. This version just allows you to end on Abyss Glacia and Moon Glacia. So we're going to perform this combo and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. The Ash Blossom is the 5th card in the hand, just to show you guys that there are 5 cards in a starting hand. So we're going to reveal Megalo, discarding the Gund and the Pike. And then you're going to go Gund Chainlink 1, Megalo Chainlink 2. Obviously Gund is going to target the Pike. So this allows you to add the Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi, and then Gund allows you to special summon the Pike. Then you're going to use Pike's effect and you're going to discard the Mander. And then to resolve the Pike, you're going to search the Undyne. And then from there, you still haven't normal summoned, obviously, so you're going to normal summon the Undyne and you're going to send the Neptibus as cost. Now, the problem with that inherently is if you were to, in some way, not have an Atlantean, because you don't have an Atlantean, the Neptibus is a mandatory trigger, so even if you don't have an Atlantean, you can't special summon, meaning that in the future of this turn, let's say, for example, you manage to get an Atlantean Grave and send another Neptibus, just somehow in some weird scenario, you can't resolve Neptibus again because its sending effect is triggering now. So regardless, I mean, it's kind of irrelevant, but it's just a little side note. So then you're adding Genix Controller from your deck. Now, from here, you're going to link up Pike and Undyne, and you're going to summon Coral Anemone. Now, Anemone effect will special summon the Neptibus from the grave. You're going to pay cost with Neptibus. You're going to send the Dragoons. And here you can add either Dragoons or Heavy Infantry. In this particular combo, I like to add Heavy Infantry because it adds another layer of disruption. And then you trigger your Dragoons in your graveyard that you just sent, and you add the Moon Glacia. And now, as you can see, you have 5 waters in your graveyard. So now, you special summon the Moon, rip 2 cards from your opponent's hand. Then you link up the Neptibus and the Coral Anemone into Miss Starboy. The entire reason why I play the Miss Starboy again is because of that reason, because Coral Anemone is a water, but it's a cyber, so it can't go straight into Abyss Glacia. You have to link into the Miss Starboy in order to get into Abyss Glacia and bridge your combo that way. However, it's still really decent. So then you link up Mermail Abyss Megalo and Miss Starboy. If you so choose, you can obviously do it that way. This just allows you to set up another layer of disruption, go into Abyss Glacia, because you have the Heavy Infantry in hand, so it allows you to discard the Heavy Infantry and do the whole pop thing. And then you activate the Abyss Scale of Mizuchi, targeting Abyss Glacia. And now you have the Abyss Glacia with Mizuchi, Moulin, rip 2 cards from your opponent's hand, and then you have Heavy Infantry controller. And then obviously this card isn't necessarily an Ash, but in this scenario, we're just saying it's an Ash Blossom as well. So that is it for the first version of this combo. Now we're going to go into the one with Toad and the frogs. Alright, so this version of the combo requires only one card to be changed, which is, instead of Abyss Megalo, you have Swap Frog. This version is probably a little more powerful. It sets up a negate as well. Again, these combos are only if you don't see Neptibus or Dragoons in your opening hand. You want some way to get to at least your Undyne, which Pike allows you to utilize. So, again, like I said, it's the same exact hand, just instead of Megalo, you're switching out for Swap Frog. So, here's how the combo would begin. You're going to discard Pike off of Swap Frog, so that it special summons itself. Then you're going to use Swap Frog's effect on the field to send Ronin Totem to the graveyard from your deck. Then you're going to bounce Swap Frog back to your hand. Then you're going to discard for Swap Frog again, discarding Gund. And then here you're going to go Chain Links one Gund to Swap Frog, and then Swap Frog is going to send another copy of itself from the deck to the grave. And then Gund, you always want to make sure that Gund in this scenario is Chain Link 1, because otherwise Pike will miss timing. So now Gund specials back to Pike. Pike discards the other water, in this case the Mander. And then you're going to add another level 3 water. So here you add your Undyne. Now, you could here just normal summon Undyne and then send Dragoons and then go off that way. That's really generally a decent way to go about it. But we're trying to actually summon back the Neptibus. So you're going to normal summon the Undyne, you're going to send the Neptibus. And again, remember, if you had some way to trigger an Atlantean and you don't have it in your grave, Neptibus is a mandatory activation on when it's sent. So it's just an unfortunate thing. But now you're going to add the controller from your deck to your hand. Then you're going to link up the Undyne and the Pike specifically into Coral Anemone. Then you're going to use an enemy effect again to special summon the Neptibus. Then Neptibus, you're going to send for cost, you're going to send Dragoons. And then here, in this particular version of the combo, I like to add Dragoons, just because. And then Dragoons triggers to add Moolan Glacier. Then you banish your other Swap Frog for Ronin and special, and now you have another scenario where you have 5 waters exactly in your graveyard. So you special summon Moolan Glacier, rip 2 cards from your opponent's hand, and then from here you can link up the Coral Anemone and the Neptibus into Starboy. Then you make Toad. And then here it's up to you what you want out of this combo, because you can just leave this board and it's probably honestly fine. But this is why I add the Dragoons instead, is because you link up the Moolan and the Starboy. Yeah, you don't get a battle phase next turn, but you extend your combo a little bit and you extend what you can do in terms of the cards you play. You go into Abyss Lacia, and now you have the added advantage of using Alacia on your opponent's turn to discard the Dragoons and then go off that way and just add more advantage and do things in the future and mold your future turns around this board, this setup here. So essentially that's it for these combos. Again, these combos are not necessarily the best combos. They're not amazing. They're kind of more just last resort, kind of last ditch effort combos if you don't see your Neptibus, but you see Pike, Gun, Water, and a discard outlet. It just allows you to mold your hand so that you can at least set up some kind of a board and sit on what you set up. So that is it for this deck profile as well as these combo tutorials. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I really appreciate any views you guys give us. Again, I know that we've been kind of lacking a lot in content lately. It's just been so busy and dealing with so many other personal issues. But now that the cold months are coming, we are going to be posting a lot more frequently. So just keep your guys' eyes open for that. Eric here, TeamEccenTrick, signing out.
Rate and subscribe, leave your comments and ideas in the comment section below, and don't hesitate to give us respectful suggestions on content you want to see. Eric on behalf of the team saying take care, and TeamEccenTrick out.